Hi there. I just had the best conversation with my brother-in-law, and I just wanted to make a quick video about my thoughts because I just love talking to him. I just love talking to my sister. I love my family. I'm so fortunate. We're on family vacation right now because my grandma turned 80 this week. So there's just my mom's side of the family. There's 23 people meeting up somewhere in Germany right now. So that's so awesome. I love hanging out with them, and I have such a supportive family, and I have the most interesting conversations with them, and that's just awesome. Because a couple of years ago, I don't think any of us had the mindset we have right now, and especially my sister and my brother-in-law, there's so much I can talk with them about. It's so cool. Actually, they just started their own blog, so that was like kind of like, we didn't say, I mean, I supported them and they supported me, but it wasn't planned ever that we did it at the same time or did it ever, or yeah, it's just so cool because we're interested in the same thing. So they just started their family blog because they have a 3-year-old son. It's called Ninandi, by the way, if anyone wants to check that out, ninandi.de. And they talk about their family and their healthy lifestyle, and they're not vegan, but you know, they have a lot of, yeah, they just incorporate a healthy lifestyle, a healthy mindset in their life. So that's awesome. I'm so happy for them. But anyway, I just had a really good conversation with my brother-in-law, and how we create our reality. And I know we have heard that so many times, but I think everyone has a different look at it or a different approach. And we were talking about, because his mom has cancer, and she is really, I mean, she's really old. I think she's also over 80, so it's really sad and it's not a good way to go. But still, it showed him how, well, she never really, in his opinion, never really lived her life, because all she is asking is, why me? Why did I always have cancer? Why is this happening to me? And I think it's not only cancer is horrible and no one deserves cancer or any kind of disease, but I mean, we know that, right? I think everyone has asked that question before. Why me? Why is this happening to me? Why does everyone have a boyfriend but I don't have a boyfriend? Why am I not popular? Why am I not pretty? Why me? Why does this always happen to me? And I think it's so easy, or it happens so fast to ask this kind of question. But I actually believe that nothing in this world is given to you just by accident. I feel like everything we receive that we feel like we can't handle and is too much, we can handle. I don't know what you want to call it, if you wanted to call it the universe or just life in general, but whatever you are given, it's there to teach you a lesson. Especially the really hard stuff that you feel like you can't handle it all. When you get through it, you're gonna evolve so much more. You're gonna evolve as a person. Can't you think of anything where you were at a point in your life, maybe it was when you were 14 and I don't know, you fell for that guy, and or you had your eating disorder, or you can't think of anything right now that happens to happen to me when I was younger, but I know there was situations in my life where I thought I couldn't get through it, and then after I came out of it, or when you were bullied or something and you came out of it and you felt so much stronger and you felt your personality had evolved so much more. And I feel like everything you're given, you really are able to handle. You just have to change your perspective. You just have to change your mindset about it. You can choose to see it positive, to see it in a good light, or you can just suffer and pity yourself and be totally depressed and not go out of the house anymore, right? I mean, we have a choice. We create what is surrounding us, all that's surrounding us. And it's hard to accept sometimes because it seems unfair that maybe your parents are one of your parents is an alcoholic, or your parents are divorced, or your boyfriend's beating you, or it's hard to accept that it's your fault. But I really believe that whatever you give, you receive, and it might not be something like not only giving love or giving material things to someone, but the energy you have around yourself, if it's insecurity, if it's confidence, if it's you know, like whatever your body language says, that's kind of what gets back to you, right? That's what I feel like, and I work on that all the time. And I mean, For example, I'm really insecure with some people at school, and I totally realize how yeah, that made me have not too many friends at school right now, but normally I'm really extroverted, and whenever I go I can talk to so many people and I always have something to say, and like people come up to me and they're like, oh my god, it's so, you make friends so easily, and like, I don't even know, I don't even care. And that's when it happens, when I don't really care and I'm just myself, then people like me, because then you're the most authentic, right? But when I think about what I'm gonna say, what I'm gonna do, and blah, 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 and then people are like, what's up with that girl, like she's so weird, I guess. So yeah, and you can just create whatever is surrounding you. For example, the fact that I can talk with my sister, my family about all these things right now that really are important to me. And I mean, you can talk with that for everyone, but it's always nice to have someone who understands you and is on the same page with you, right? So when I became vegetarian 9 years ago, my whole family thought it was a phase. I was 14 years old. I was a teenager. They're like, oh yeah, okay, she's gonna get through that. Like, she's gonna get out of that phase. It's just like rebellious, right? But I never did. I never went back to eating meat. And when I became vegan 3 years ago, they started to listen to what I had to say and what my reasons behind it were, because it was kind of extreme, right? 3 years ago, not many people in Germany knew what veganism was, and I got asked a lot if I would be the one who would eat the trees that fall off the trees by itself, and right? So no one really knew what it was, and you couldn't find soy milk anywhere in any cafes, and right now it's growing like crazy. But anyway, so back then they started listening to what I had to say, and my whole family shops so much more conscious right now. I mean, my dad is never going to be vegan. I think even if he would die of heart disease and cancer and diabetes at the same time, unfortunately he would not change his ways. But he's accepting and he listens, and it's okay for him that I do this, and he understands my reasoning and he makes his jokes. But my mom, who was always eating everything, she's not eating any meat. She's really vegetarian. She's trying to be vegan at home. It's too hard for her to eat outside, eat vegan outside, but I don't feel like she has to. She wants to be healthy, and she does it for her health, and it's too hard for her outside. But you know what? Every meal counts for your body, for the environment, for the animals. For whatever reasoning you're doing it for, every meal is a good step in the right direction. You don't have to give yourself a hard time if you're not doing it perfect. Because what's going to happen? It's your life, it's your journey, and you don't have to be perfect overnight. You don't have to be fully raw. You can do whatever diet is right for you. So I think that's so awesome, and makes me so happy that they are so more conscious. And my sister's family, they eat meat from time to time, maybe 1 time a week, maybe 2 times a week, maybe sometimes they don't. But if they buy meat, they buy the expensive stuff, they know where it's coming from, and they buy so much organic, and there's just a shift happening. That's what I wanted to say. Everyone can do whatever they want, but even my other sister, so we're 3 sisters, by the way, it gets confusing. My other sister, she realized through me that she doesn't digest dairy too well, so now she's drinking soy milk, and she's eating a lot healthier. She started running because her little sister started running a couple of years ago, and now she's running too. And actually this morning on this family vacation, all my cousins, or not all my cousins, but most of my cousins, my sister and me, went on a run together. So we were 5 young people going into the park, and we went for a run, and it just gives me goosebumps because that is so awesome, right? I mean, a couple of years ago we might have just been like the teenagers hanging on the couch, not doing much, and we went outside and we went for a morning run, and then we went and met my whole family at the breakfast buffet, and it was so cool, and I had such a good conversation with my brother-in-law, and I saw my sister talking with my aunt, who actually is vegan now too, or she said she's vegan and she's not, and that's fine. She's eating a lot of vegan products, and she's eating so many healthy foods, and sometimes she still eats cheese. She doesn't eat meat, and you know, she's like, she found this, I think she found a brochure one day, and then she thought of me, her what's it called, niece, her niece, being vegan. She thought about it, and she called me and talked with me about it. And you know, I sit there at the breakfast buffet and see my family talking about healthy foods and healthy mindset, and my grandma who turned 80, who is so healthy, and me and my sister, we talk about it all the time, how how my grandma just lives this healthy life because she's really religious, and I don't have to agree with this religion. I mean, I grew up really Catholic, and I don't necessarily believe in the one God and the one Jesus, and I don't necessarily agree with all of the religion that I grew up with. I definitely agree that there is something that's sending us stuff, that there's a greater energy, that there's things that are sent to us, and I would definitely call myself spiritual in a way, not really the Christian Catholic way that there is really present here in Germany, Bavaria, but I would definitely say that it's healthy to believe, and my grandma believes so deeply. And I know that, for example, my other grandma, she's really Catholic too, but she is not as positive as my grandma, who just turned 80 now and who's here. She is the healthiest, happiest person. She only sees the good in people. She always sees the positive. She doesn't have a car. She walks everywhere, so that's her exercise. She walks every day. She feasts, well, not, she fasts every Friday. So she eats, but she eats really little. So that's one day a week where she just reduces the amount that she eats, and I think that could be a healthy thing. I'm not saying that everyone should do that, but you know how people in Asia sometimes don't eat as much, or like, yeah. Anyway, I just feel like she has a really healthy life of living. And even though I'm a big advocate of a healthy diet, I also believe that diet is just one aspect of your overall health. So I believe that if someone eats really healthy but doesn't sleep much, has really negative mindset and stresses out a lot, he could be just as healthy even though he has the healthiest diet as someone who eats the normal standard diet, including meat and dairy and eggs and processed foods, but sleeps a whole lot, exercises, is really positive, doesn't stress much, has a job that they love, have really good relationships. I feel like that person could even be healthier, even though they're not eating well, than a person who eats really well. I know that there's a lot of diseases coming from food, and I'm so happy to prevent them. But I also feel like that a happy mindset, or like, yeah, a good lifestyle is just as important as food. And that was something I ignored for the longest time. So seeing my grandma being so happy and healthy, seeing my whole family talking and chatting about a healthy life, and it seriously gives me goosebumps because it makes me so happy and I'm part of it, and I kind of created this. I did not ever try to convert anyone. I was just sharing my opinion, and people started talking and thinking, and now I'm here at 23 sitting with my family and just being too fortunate and so happy to be with all of them and sharing this experience. And you know, just living by example can change so much. And now all these people live healthier lives and get their blood results all the time and really care about how they're doing. And yeah, it's awesome, and you can really change what's happening to you, and everything you're given you can handle. I'm so sure of that, and that's so empowering to know, isn't it? I feel like it. Okay, so I just had to make a quick video here in the hotel because it's just fresh and I just felt like talking about it. And now I'm gonna go with everyone and we're just gonna hang out. And my sister wrote down so many cafes that have vegan cakes and whatever here in the city, and I normally don't even eat that, but isn't that so lovely? Isn't that just so beautiful? I'm so blessed. Okay, so I'm gonna hang out with them now, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Hey, there's just something I wanted to add for creating your reality. I forgot. I was always really sad that there was not much going on in the vegan community, like people meeting up in the south of Germany, and I was always like, why is nothing ever happening here? So last week I decided I'm just gonna do my own picnic and just invite a couple of people to meet in Munich in the English Garden to meet and greet and get to know each other, because you only know each other on the internet all the time, and there's such a big community happening in the north of Germany. So I started my own picnic, or our own picnic, and probably most of the people that watch this right now can't come, but I'm just saying that, yeah, you can just create your own reality, because if you want something you can do something. And now I'm gonna meet all of them, and I think that's awesome. Okay, that was it. Okay, see you later.